Moving forward.
Right now, a future president could be running as a local candidate on your ballot. This person is vying to represent you, your family, and your community. Do you know what they are and what they stand for? Vote411.org is your tool for accurate and unbiased, up-to-the-minute election information on the candidates running in local races. Just enter your address to get started. Your vote is your power, the power to decide who represents you in 2022 and beyond. Get online, get the facts, and make your voice heard on Election Day.
Moving forward.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you scared me because we just got back from the gym and I was watering the grass and then I was like, you know what? Let me check my phone and then when I saw Wailuku, I was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me I missed it.
No, I was just I was worried I missed you because I all I saw my brain went, oh, it's 5 minutes past. I didn't even think of was it 10, was it 11, was it 9, was it 8? You know, I just saw like 5 after and I went, shoot, so you talked story too long at empty.
Oh my gosh, I know how that can happen. So yes, but hey, I'm very excited with what you guys are doing. You know, I think that when I received your email and you said you guys were interviewing candidates and to educate and engage people. I was like, I'm all about education. So yeah, yay for you guys.
Thank
You
you
for doing that.
What started as like the craziest bet to myself turned into what has now become the most insane adventure of my life. So
it's amazing, and anything to help educate people and just so that they can learn about the candidates and really make an educated, informed vote this election. I'm like, hey, awesome.
Right.
I'm all about it.
Right.
So thank you.
So let's dig right in and let me give you a moment here to introduce yourself and what office you're running for.
Okay. Well, my name's Lori Goeas, and I'm running for the Hawaii House of Representatives for District 42. And people are like, what is 42? We always talk about like it's Kapolei, right? But then again, Kapolei also is 43. So 42 really, I tell people it includes the majority of the villages of Kapolei. And Kapolei has like 9 villages, but with the reapportionment, one of the villages and half of another village is in another district. It also comprises of East Kapolei, some of the East Kapolei, and Ewa villages. So that is District 42. A little bit about myself. I'm a retired educator. Both my husband and I are retired. He retired from HPD, and we have 3 children, young adults, 1 millennial and 2 Gen Zs. And they keep us, they keep us still busy. which is very exciting. And we've lived in Kapolei for the past 22 years. So
Right.
that's me.
Right on. So before we dig
Yeah.
into your campaign, one thing I'm asking from every candidate
Uh-huh.
is to help explain what the office you're running for does, so that way our voters know how to better engage with that office.
Sure. So there's 51 House seats representing the respective districts across our state. And these representatives, of course, are elected members. So, that's why I tell people you have to vote, because you cannot complain if you don't vote.
Right.
Each representative is elected. So if you don't like those people, you want to change, you need to vote, do something about it. So they're elected members of the House. Legislators represent the people. They represent the district. Of course, they make and pass legislation. As a matter of fact, the legislative session just ended, I believe, 2 weeks ago. And I know I like to see representatives, as a conduit to the people they represent, right? And the government, and, what resources are out there, what services, and really, problem solve solutions that people may be concerned about. So, just taking care of the people. Yeah. I hope that helped.
Right on. No, I like it because, we have many other representatives coming on, or people running for the office. And
Uh-huh.
so hearing you all give a usable and practical definition in your own terms at different perspectives is great, because then it also shows, I feel that each person takes policy and community interaction a little differently. So noticing how you turn the wrench on the definition versus another person, but you still give nearly the same, same end result.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really appreciate that from all of you guys coming on who know how to at least be able to relate the terms for everyone.
Right.
So
Awesome.
let's dig right into your campaign. What do you feel are the biggest things that you need to tackle, or you'd like to bring to the attention by use of the office?
Yeah. Um, you know, I'm preoccupied because I hear my washing machine, and it's been acting up. So you might hear like dun 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 dun. But anyway, so what do I want to do and bring to the seat? I know I do certainly want to restore public trust and confidence, of course, in the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe the people of Hawaii, we're beckoning, right, for leaders with integrity. I want to put people before politics and even before political parties. And I want to ensure that the policies and legislation protect and support Hawaii's hardworking families and our INA. I also want to ensure that we're using common sense, long-term sustainable solutions when we address our state and, our local issues that impact all of us. So I know, as an educator, I genuinely believe that, a quality education system is the key to Hawaii's prosperity. And so you can bet that I'll be advocating to advance equitable and excellent education for our haumana. Kawika, I'm a third generation special educator. And, my grandmother growing up would always tell me, that education is a key to success. Knowledge is power. And it's something no one can take away from you. And I want us to gift that to, our keiki and generations to come. That is key. I truly believe that is key. And, I tell people I know firsthand how education has changed the trajectory of my life. So I certainly want to focus on ensuring we offer Hawaii the best public education system. So yeah, I mean, I can, that's my passion. So I can go on,
I would
We need
actually
to,
like to hear more about that, especially with your experience in education. I think that
yeah.
a lot of candidates come on here and use the what about our keiki card, and I'd really like to be able to
Yeah.
ask someone who has a lot of 2 cents to throw around on like
Yeah.
from a perspective of like example policy or oversight. What could someone like you provide in that seat to elevate our keiki and make sure that education is on the right track?
Yeah. So, one thing, I know that we must invest in providing accessible, quality early learning opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, everyone recognizes that. What people don't realize is, our brains, are 85% developed by the age of 5, and we need to do more. We need to be more intentional about providing greater care for our young babies, pre-K, our pre-K students, and their development. I know the state passed legislation, I believe in 2020, committing to this happening, expanding early learning into our schools. Have we made traction? No, not if only 26 of the 300 some schools offer early learning, right? So we need to get our Keiki into early learning programs like yesterday, right? The thing for me is there's no do-over when it comes to brain development. And today we know so much more about child development, about brain development. We know neurons are present in those critical years. Every experience and relationship stimulates growth. We also know that neglect, right, impedes brain development. And
Mm-hmm.
gosh, I could, I can go on and talk about the impact of, the rates of special education, incarceration, graduation. What I do know is we need to be more intentional in caring for Hawaii's future. That is Hawaii's future. You can talk about economics, you can talk about sustainability, but if we're not investing in our kids, if we're not taking care of them, we're done. We're done, right? We need to ensure our families has access to early learning opportunities. And so, I keep rambling on, but hey, you wanted to talk to me about education. I can go on, So,
Absolutely. No, I mean
um,
that's refreshing to hear because I think that a lot of voters want the same thing too, but they don't hear the chain reaction of required
yeah,
things and the systemic like cooperation that has to occur in order for this to fruit as best possible. So,
right.
let it
And these early learning opportunities, Kavika, also help with the outrageous childcare costs that keeps parents, especially single parents, from participating in the workforce. We've been, canvassing, and I've come across young women, single parents saying, I can't afford childcare. Half my paycheck's going to go to childcare, and in doing some research, the average child cost a month is $700, right? And so in my district alone, I know Kapolei has a rate of 21% single family household. Eva Villages has, I believe, 11%. So, think about the cost and the hardship for these families, right?
absolutely.
And again, I think about the kids and, the quality care that they could be, if we offered early learning.
No, that has a huge offset effect. I mean, to think that
Mm-hmm.
like for those parents that are paying that $700 a month, I mean that's enough in some cases to take you above the poverty line, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, for sure. And, and similarly, we, on the other side of the spectrum, post-secondary affordability is another area we need to invest in, right? If we want our local students, to have a place to live and be able to afford, and even that's questionable, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, post-secondary affordability for our students will retain them and our homegrown talent and expand, the pool of young leaders to fill our need here versus recruiting from the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, two sides of this spectrum, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I watching a lot of the job market because I've lost a lot of good kids to the mainland working in the entertainment industry. Especially on Maui because we don't compete as big as Oahu does when it comes to the Hollywood scene, but we still get a lot of work out here. But
Mm-hmm.
it tends to be just enough to entice them to follow the work back, and so I think that it is there anything you feel that could incentivize beyond an education that could incentivize our keiki to stay?
Oh gosh. We have three adult children, and I tell people, I said, both I've got two that are college graduates. We have conversations, and they cannot afford housing here. One is living on the mainland, another is paying rent. Our baby is on the mainland going to school. But you know, the one thing that we need to talk to our kids about you know, is really our culture, and it goes back to our family ties, our roots, and our rightful place here on our Aina. And, um, and, and I know in speaking to our kids, we value family, we value the lineage, the legacy, and that is something that we all can do. I think that is important. And I think for local families, when you speak, with the heart and about that, this is our rightful place, that motivates them. It inspires them, because it's something that they can believe in. And I'm hoping that more families are talking about that. And it's hard. It's very hard, but nothing worth it, right? Nothing worth comes easy. And it's so much easier to just pick up and leave. And that's the easy way. And I want to challenge, our families, our hardworking families to, hey, we're in it for the long haul. Things will get better. Let's do this, and we can do this. We can do this. Yeah.
Right on. So we've got a little extra time here. Are there any other big points that you'd like to cover while you've got the floor?
Well, I know that we are wanting to do things differently. I tell people I'm not a politician. I'm not an economist. I am, a retired educator, a mom, and I will promise to research the best policies that will protect and serve Hawaii's hardworking families. We are doing things differently. We are not taking campaign funds, right, from political action committees, even unions. And that was decided, a month and a half ago. And I think as leaders, we have a responsibility to make those bold decisions and set the example. And I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that because I believe that it shouldn't be so complicated, and I don't think that our God-given liberties and our constitutional rights should have that kind of price tag on it. It is absolutely priceless. And with that being said, government should be for the people, by the people, and of the people. So, I'm hoping that, Hawaii will get out and vote. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. And, may the best candidates rise. And so I look forward to, the outcome come August. and November, hopefully.
Right on. So, question that I'm asking every candidate, besides voting, what do you think is something important that those out in the community could come out and do in these times and help?
You know, I tell people, you know, you can't give away what you don't have. So I, you know, really want people, take care of yourself, take care of your families, you know, get, you know, really thrive, set goals for your ohana, right? Because I think we ask, okay, you know, let's get out in the community, da da da. No, I want you to strengthen your ohana first, right? Because you cannot give away what you don't have. Then reach out. Then, you know, let's, you know, that ripple effect, right? So I know going out, Kawika, families are hurting. They are being pressed and challenged. And we're just coming out of the pandemic, you know, some stronger than others. But for majority of, you know, my constituents that I see that are home, that are still, you know, unemployed, and, you know, it's hard. It's hard. So, you know, I am not, you know, I don't want to say I'm not asking people. I'm just saying, hey, listen, you take care of yourself, heal what you need to heal up, you know, but ask for help if you do, because you're not alone. And I don't know if that's answering your question.
That is, you know, because I have to say there's, you know, I've gotten a lot of bootstrapping answers. I've gotten a lot of, you know, do for your country style answers. But I have to say that I appreciate, you know, a standout answer of take care of yourself before you help other people. Because, you know, you can't kukua unless you're in the right space for it. Or else you're going to overextend yourself, you know. Your plate becomes too full, and at what point does that, you know, how does that affect other people? So I feel that, you know, that will resonate very well with the voters, in the sense that, like, we just came out of a hard place in a hard time that most people were not experienced or apt to handle. So, you know, there's a lot of mental healing, there's a lot of personal and equity-based healing. There's just so many factors, and it's seemingly not enough time to get into our headspace to go back to the world that wants to go back to normal. So I appreciate your expression on that matter.
Yes, thank you. You understand it. Go on and preach.
Well, before you go today, could you tell us how to follow, support, and be a part of your campaign?
Sure. So you can visit our website, because I tell people I want to talk about the issues. I want you guys to, you know, let this election be about the issues, you know, not about political parties. Don't ask me if I'm a Republican, Democrat, you know. Let's talk about issues and get to know your candidates. So visit our website at lorigoas.com. Follow us on social media at Lori Goeas Hawaii. And, you know, again, I'm excited. I'm excited to, you know, for anyone to join our campaign. So just give us a shout out and we'll be in touch with you. Righteous.
Well, mahalo for coming on today.
To you.
Mahalo for even coming on early, because I lost track of time and I went time travel ahead and you went. So good on you for being earlier than early.
Yeah. Thank you again for having me, Kawika, and I appreciate your time and what you're doing to engage and educate our voters in this election. So mahalo to you.
Can I ask you if it'd be possible to get you back on in about like 30 days to see how your campaign's going?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right on. Well, you take care of yourself and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Take care.
All right. Aloha. Rabbit Holes is a Manava Cow production. This episode was produced by Kawika Hoke and Sarah Rodriguez. Make sure to subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast platforms to add our weekly episodes to your queue.